What you mentioned, Sunny, is a career turn I took into project management sometime in 2018. And when I decided to get into project management and support my team with data analytics and data-based assessment and decision making in the marketplace. As you know, the physician pharmacy mapping is as a cornerstone, and mapping and audit is a cornerstone of biopharma operations as well as success.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, a podcast by the Directors Institute, World Council of Directors. I'm your host, Sunny Pancholi, and today we are sitting down with a true force in India's healthcare business landscape, someone who has been at the helm of strategic growth, breakthrough launches, and leadership transformation across the nation. He has spent over 3 decades with brands that have shaped modern medicine in India. From turning around underperforming markets to launching best in class therapies, his work has directly impacted not just business numbers, but lives. Please join me in welcoming a stalwart in strategic pharma leadership, Mr. PV Narayan. We are honored to have you here, sir.
Thank you, Sunny. It's a pleasure to be part of this conversation, and I truly appreciate the kind words and kind introduction that you have given.
Great to hear that, sir. Great, Mr. Narayan. We often see impressive numbers and titles on a resume, but the real story, the one with grit, turning points, and quiet wins, is what truly shapes a leader like you. And Mr. Narayan, you have spent decades navigating a fast changing industry, but every journey has its own rhythm. So take us back to where it all started. What shaped your path, and how did the journey unfold in your own eyes?
Yeah, sure. When I reflect, I feel I was a good student of science, especially the life sciences. I was good at right through from schooling to my graduation. And it was natural for me to be drawn to the biopharmaceutical space. I would count my father, who was also a pharma industry veteran, as one of the key influences in my life, kind of validating my choice of joining the biopharma industry, and also some of my early managers uh, during my early phase of the career. They were very instrumental in giving me the reassurance that I had made the right choice of coming into the biopharma industry. So I joined one of the best pharmaceutical company of those times, Hext, HOECHST, a German pronunciation, but Indianized into Hext in 1987. So I joined in 1987, which later, through several iterations of uh, mergers and acquisitions, actually, and several successes, morphed into Sanofi, as we know this company today. And my career journey actually mirrors this transformation over 35 years of this organization. I have stayed with this organization. I have stuck with it through all the phases of mergers and acquisitions and transitions that it journeyed through for 35 years. The pharma sales uh, exposure or sales and marketing took me to different markets in India as also other countries in Asia, which has been a very big bonus for me. Such exposures broadened and shaped my industry and worldview, which helped me to see possibilities of business and people growth in whichever market I was assigned to. As you mentioned, I could nurture several brands like Allegra, Entrogermina, Cardace, Corderon, yeah, Amaryl, Lantus, Tugio, Frisium, Valperin, several of those brands in this company I could launch and nurture. Simultaneously, I could see about 35 young, talented people from my team take up higher responsibility in the organization. Yeah, the significant market shaping to enhance market share in East and North India has been a source of great satisfaction for me.
Absolutely. There is something truly powerful in the way you stayed grounded while navigating such a vast change, Mr. Narayan. Great. So, continuing our conversation, Mr. Narayan, when you took over the North Indian region, it wasn't just a change in geography, it was a shift in scale, complexity, and expectations. There were legacy challenges, new market pressures, and a large team looking for direction. From what we have seen, your turnaround there became a benchmark. So I would love to know what were the gaps you first noticed and how did you begin steering things in the right direction?
So, Sunny, I was interested with North region, the largest and most important market for the company at a relatively early stage of my career. Yeah. That put a kind of added pressure. At the same time, it uh, gave me very good exposure at a very early stage in my career. The level of complexities and legacy challenges, as you mentioned, were of a very large scale and very, very unique, at least in this country. Among the legacy issues that stood out was two of my predecessors moving out of the region in very quick succession, leading to a kind of a leadership vacuum. Yeah, so that was the central piece, the central challenge which was there. Out of this central challenge flowed out two important challenges. One was that performance was not up to the benchmarks for a very sustained period of time, maybe 1.5 years, I would say. And also there was very high attrition, employee attrition in the team. So I was confronted with these two principal challenges. Only when I could have a hold on these two challenges, I could think of sustained performance. So that these are the two major challenges which I decided to take up and really address it on a very top priority. So among the first decisions was to completely restructure the North region to provide better manager oversights and coaching opportunity for sustained business growth. One major decision was to carve out a separate institutional team. Yeah, so that there could be more accountability and more focus on both the institutional team and the trade teams. So this was one of the first major decision which I undertook, and I completely restructured the North region, redrew the territory and the area maps so that there could be better opportunity for area managers to have coaching opportunities, which ultimately leads to better delivery in doctor calls and ultimately leads to better productivity. Yeah, the gaps in the distribution network had to be filled up with new business appointments, which is what I went on to address on priority. And once these distribution network gaps could be fully, where the network was fully live and fully active, that is finally gave the team that the kind of performance uplift which they were looking for. All of this took about 4 months to achieve, but laid a very solid foundation for in the next 7 years. So all of these changes took about 4 months to achieve, but laid the very solid platform for the team to deliver sustained performance over 100% for the next 7 years that I was at the helm as a regional business manager. Employees attrition dropped, teams were stable, and we got 12 team members getting promotions. So several cross-vertical collaborations with the vaccine and the critical care team marked this phase. And we could also embrace the DEI initiative of the organization to bring up the female uh, employee strength to 35%. Yeah, and this was number of promotions which took place. I must say the turnaround of North team was challenging, yet most satisfying in terms of learnings and the experience shaped me as a person and professional. It reinforced my belief that the leader's role is to nurture and empower people, give them freedom, enable them to give their best as professionals, and business growth, follows. So I have held this belief, and this was reinforced after my stint, after taking over the challenges of North market from the Eastern market.
Incredible, Mr. Narayan. That kind of turnaround doesn't just come from strategy, it comes from clarity, belief, and conviction. And the way you navigated those complexities really speaks to the leader behind the numbers. Moving on to the next phase, Mr. Narayan, one of the things that really stood out to me while going through your journey was the way your physician pharmacy mapping and retail audit work did not just deliver results, it set a new standard that scaled across the entire organization. So I would love to hear from you. What, in your view, made that initiative so effective? And what was it about your approach that made it resonate beyond just your region?
What you mentioned, Sunny, is a career turn I took into project management sometime in 2018. And when I decided to get into project management and support my team with data analytics and data-based assessment and decision making in the marketplace. As you know, the physician pharmacy mapping is a cornerstone, and mapping and audit is a cornerstone of biopharma operations as well as success. The first step is to map the network of the physician with the corresponding pharmacies, and the next step is to monitor every week how the delta is happening. Yeah, at a physician level, at a physician and the pharmacy level. And when you do that very consistently over a long period of time, you lay down the forces for success ultimately, because you are consistent, you are tracking progress at a basic parameter, and this actually impacts the overall improvement in performance of a territory. So this was the first step is was to map the network and then follow it up, as I mentioned, with weekly follow up, weekly review. And this is what I did for the 11 regions of the cardio diabetes vertical, the newly formed cardio diabetes vertical, as a project manager. And this had a very, very telling effect on the performance. And for the first 4 years, the cardio diabetes team had a 105% performance. So for a new vertical to be launched out of merging two cardio and diabetes teams was a success, and it was well grounded for more than 4 years that I was a product manager there before I moved on to the CNS division. So how this will happen is that weekly data will flow through the team, yeah, channels, and I am talking about here 400 field force. So we will have 11 regions gathering 400 field force data at the physician level, the top physicians, and really give the channel will flow to me. I will compose and I will generate a kind of a dashboard with actionable insights for the field force in each territory, each of these 400 territories, to take action. I had enrolled into a AI for Leaders course from Texas University during this period, which helped me a lot because I could deploy artificial intelligence. I could do data analysis, and I had an in-depth grounding during this period into data science. So this helped me to really generate quality insights from the huge, humongous amount of data from 400 territories, and then provide the team with actionable insights so that they can focus on the key pointed areas and leverage that for enhanced success. So this was the very rich experience I gathered in this period. The other aspect was I put my strength in marketing to better use. We had a lot of webinars. Remember, this was COVID time, and that is when we also adapted very well to the COVID time by organizing visual, virtual meetings like webinars. So I could have a deep and meaningful interaction with the physicians in these webinars, and I could really find out the treatment gaps which were there, which they expressed, yeah, and then designed an appropriate activity. For example, this patient empathy and and the patient outcome. empathy and patient outcome was one of the key problems which was seen in by the physicians who manage diabetic patients. And I could design a very good, webinar engagement program which ran successfully across all these 11 regions. And and there was the better engagement between physicians and the field force and the managers of the CD team. I could have the satisfaction, as I mentioned, of seeing this newly formed team achieve 105% in the first 4 years before I moved on to, to CNS as once again as a regional business manager. This was impacting as a project manager, impacting the organizational performance from grounds up.
Mr. Narayan, it's remarkable how something designed so thoughtfully at the grassroots level went on to shape strategy company-wide. So, Mr. Narayan, continuing our conversation, you having spent decades at the heart of healthcare sales, you have seen the industry evolve from deeply personal field connect to a more data-driven, tech-enabled ecosystem. And now with digitization, AI, and automation becoming integral, the way sales managers lead and operate is shifting faster than ever. So, what I would like to ask you is, from your lens, how do you see the role of a sales manager transforming over the next decade?
Indeed, as I mentioned, as a project manager, I could work with data and really generate value for the organization and the teams with data. Yeah, so that was kind of a professionally orienting me better to this new era when artificial intelligence is in amongst us in every sphere of life, and pharma and biopharma and healthcare systems are no exceptions. So this is the time that this is the era of data analytics and AI that is going to help sales managers on business, or to focus on critical business aspects and take informed database business decisions to positively impact business outcomes and performance. The biopharma industry, has adapted very well, especially during the COVID time, as I mentioned, into digitizing its processes, and right from the CRM systems, marketing and market research, and physician engagement programs in the form of webinars, etc. I see these trends intensifying as the data that is generated from all these operations help the AI-enabled system to provide real-time insights, which the field force and their managers can leverage for performance. This is going to significantly improve efficiency, enhanced physician market reach of the field force, improve customer interactions, help save time, and really organizational turnaround times are going to be much shorter now, with managers and field force free from manual gathering of data and processing them. They can now focus on delivering physician engagement with greater empathy and responsiveness, leading to cordial industry-physician interface and relationships. With AI-based training systems in place, now the interaction between the field force and the managers is also bound to be more productive, more infused with empathy and understanding. And I foresee that this is going to lead to better coaching output from manager field force relationship, which ultimately once again impacts business positively. So I see a overall intensification of this data-based and AI-enabled processes in the biopharma industry, which ultimately leads to a more productive phase for the industry. I'm happy that I am part of this transformation where the biopharma industry is embracing technology, embracing artificial intelligence and data analytics at such scale, and see the benefits for themselves.
Rightly said, Mr. Narayan. And it's refreshing to hear how technology and human innovation don't have to be at odds, but instead can actually enhance one another. especially from someone who has seen both sides of that evolution firsthand.
Yes. Yes, indeed. You are very right, and we are going to see more and more of that, going ahead, happening in the industry going ahead. Yes.
Absolutely. All right. So, Mr. Narayan, you have already led with impact across teams, markets, and brands, but I'm sure the journey doesn't stop here. With your kind of experience, the boardroom feels like a space where your insights could truly shape strategy at scale. At this stage in your journey, what are some of the aspirations you are personally excited about?
Yeah, I mean, I have completed 57 years now, and I have had a very, very rich, experience. 35 years, 35 years in the biopharma industry, and last 2 to 3 years has been, heavily invested in the AI tech space. So I feel this is the right time for me to look at the next chapter of my professional journey, having devoted 3.8 years to the industry and be enriched by the kind of exposures and knowledge and the learnings from this journey. I feel that I am in very good position to actually, uh, you know, contribute my expertise and my capabilities for board level, you know, directions. I look forward to participating in, companies' boards and help to provide company strategic direction and edge, mentor leaders, give innovation in the industry and impetus. I wish to be part of biopharma industry, embracing AI across all aspects, from drug discovery and development to manufacturing, logistics, and sales operations. It is my turn, I believe, to thank in this way my industry that has given me such a rich and vast experience and experience.
Such a grounded and thoughtful vision, Mr. Narayan. After everything you have built, it's inspiring to see how your focus is still on creating value and guiding from a place of experience and clarity. Incredible, truly.
Thank you, Sunny. You are kind with this, but I feel I'm, at this stage, I feel like offering all that I have acquired thanks to the journey in this industry, that I'm really raring to, part with my expertise and with my knowledge, really bring up the next generation of professionals in the biopharma industry and the technology industry.
Amazing, truly amazing. Okay, so talking about ESG, it has become a major lens through which business decisions are being evaluated, Mr. Narayan.
Yes.
From where you stand, how do you see ESG influencing the way leaders in healthcare, especially in sales and operations, shape their strategies and impact going forward?
You are very right. Indeed, the ESG principles are, becoming central to leadership across industries, and healthcare and biopharma is no exception. Every business, including healthcare, has to benchmark itself and deliver on running all its processes and operations in a sustainable manner for all the stakeholders, including patients, physicians, partners, and societal stakeholders. I would like to share with you one of the recent initiatives that I have been part of. Antimicrobial resistance has been flagged by World Health Organization as a major healthcare concern. Uh, the antibiotics, even higher end antibiotics, which are used in the critical care settings in hospitals, are now failing. And this is leading to a very dangerous scenario where patients could be, not be able to recover out of even some common cold like infections, yeah, with high end antibiotics failing. So to address this, one of the root causes for addressing this, which has been found, is the safe collection and disposal of expired medicines. Yeah, and this is something which the biopharma industry is grappling with, as it is. It has other challenges, but yes, now it also has to take responsibility of safe disposal of biopharma waste and expired medicines, which generally go to the trash bin in patient's home. There has to be a process of safe collection and disposal. So we are designing the processes, the systems for a safe collection and disposal of expired medicines. I and a set of four. So I'm happy to share that we are working on designing an AI-enabled system for processing and safe processing and disposal of expired medicines, and for reducing carbon footprint from the biopharma logistics and distribution channels. So this is a very, very important project that I am involved with a set of four major ESG professionals who are also having a biopharma background. So this is something very exciting that I'm doing right now, and I'm sure the other aspects of operations, business operations of biopharma are also ripe for ESG interventions, especially in the processes to reduce the carbon footprint.
That's such a meaningful take, Mr. Narayan. It's reassuring to hear how experienced leaders like you are seeing ESG not as a mandate, but as a mindset that genuinely shapes how business is done today.
Yes, indeed. And there is, this is not a choice. It is something it's better at senior leadership level in all organization that we accept this as willingly and embrace ESG, so that our not just our business prospers, it remains sustainable for a very long period of time, but we are also taking care that we are not doing any major harm to the environment or the society at large, and we are taking care of all our stakeholders whom we impact through our business. So this is a very important discipline that has to first of all be embraced by the company leadership, and finally it has to be percolated down in the team as well in the company at all levels, that ESG is an essential part of day-to-day functioning and operations.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so that brings us to the last question of the podcast, and let me ask you. You have recently joined Directors Institute, and I'm sure it must have been a different kind of experience, shifting gears from operational leadership to boardroom readiness. So I'm curious, how has the journey been so far?
Yes, indeed, it was a pleasure doing the course that I have done as a independent director, as also as a ESG professional. I very fondly remember the experience that I have had taking this course for the last 2 years, in fact. And ESG orientation has, kind of empowered me with a holistic understanding of the role of independent directors that they have to play in boardrooms, and see that the organization is moving in a sustainable path, yeah, business path, and also environmentally as well as governance wise, it is grounded on the right principles, so that the entire holistic aspect, the ESG part, is covered in its totality. Yeah. So, and the courses were very perfect balance between knowing the laws as well as practicing them in spirit. My grounding in company laws and governance received a significant reinforcement thanks to the course that I have gone through with the Directors Institute. The ESG opened up horizon further on how to enable companies and business in a sustained, to carry out their operations in a more sustained way. I was also, excited, since I have done a lot of work in the area of DEI and on how to improve female workforce participation as well. So overall, it's been a very, very good experience doing the ID as well as the ESG certification through Directors Institute.
Great, great. That's really encouraging to hear, Mr. Narayan. It's always inspiring when someone with your depth of experience embraces new learnings with such openness. It shows the kind of leader who is still evolving, who is still curious.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sunny. Those are kind words. And, I really I'm in a very, very, I would say, a phase in which a lot of innovative ideas I'm able to, try out. And it's a very, very fruitful phase of my career, I would say. And I hope to, partake of all these innovations, expertise in the boardroom. and really give shape to corporate, management, corporate directions, and really see that every organization becomes a responsible organization to the society at large, and across all levels, people believe that they are functioning in a very ethical and environmentally conscious manner. So that is something which every employee has to be grounded in. And I'm very sure that I have a very good role to play, a significant role to play to help such a help such a culture in the organization that I join on the board.
Absolutely. And we wish you luck for all your future endeavors. And let me tell you, Mr. Narayan, what a journey. Markets reshaped, teams mentored, benchmarks set, and now a whole new chapter unfolding. This has been more than a conversation. It's been a front row seat to decades of transformation told with grace and grit. So thank you so much, Mr. Narayan, for joining in.
Thank you. It has been such a pleasure, and it has been great to relive those memories of the past and look up to future on the board of the companies. It's really brought back the essence of my career journey so far. Thank you so much, Sunny, for this conversation.
Likewise, and thank you so much for joining in once again. And that's a wrap on today's episode of FaceTime with Leaders by Directors Institute. If you have ever wondered what it looks like to blend legacy with fresh ambition, just rewind and relive Mr. P V Narayan's story. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, keep your ears open and your curiosity alive. Thank you so much and have a nice time.